Hi, welcome back to my channel. So April is Stress Awareness Month. Now that is quite pertinent to me at the minute. I've been going through quite a lot really, family illness back home and having to travel back every other weekend, and gosh, the thing is that sort of stuff really does put your worries in perspective and really does tell you, it ain't worthwhile sweating the small stuff, because the big stuff that comes out of left field that you couldn't anticipate is always so much, has so much more gravity, and it just puts everything else in perspective. But how to manage that kind of stress, the stress is actually quite difficult to control in context of also being a busy professional person and keeping lots of balls in the air normally, but then you add that into the mix and things get quite messy potentially, especially when you're emotional and tired. All of those things just feed into that stress cycle, and naturally I'm quite a stress bunny anyway. I would say I'm quite high energy, but I overthink things a lot. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. It's not always a bad thing, but it can mean that you suffer in the process of making decisions. So this spell that's been going on for about 2 months now has really made me take stock of how best to manage myself, to manage stress, and what to do both from a sort of professional, organizational point of view. How do I manage my time to minimize stress? And for me that's really key. When you're doing lots of different things on different days, how do I manage my diary to make sure that I achieve what I want to, that I prioritize the right things? And then from a personal point of view, what is my valve? How do I let off steam if things are really tough? Now I thought in terms of time management then, so the things that have made a real difference for me, and I say that's because I've got a lot of different projects on the go at the moment, not just running the practice. It really has been to find the right organizational tool on my phone that I carry with me at all times. And at the minute what's really working for me is EVERNOTE, which allows me to write down that kaleidoscope of thoughts that's in my head at any one time, and that chaotic jumping from topic to topic to topic that's happening in here all the time and sort of multitasking is actually quite depleting and exhausting. So by having a tool that I can literally set up each individual project or task I need to resolve and breaking it down into small bite-sized chunks that I can achieve and tick off as I go. For me that's really crucial. I can easily get overwhelmed by all the things that I need to do, but if I organize myself that way and then prioritize the right things first, then I get a sense of achievement and accomplishment as I work through that task list. And I'm less likely to miss things, and I think at the minute I'm constantly worrying I'm going to miss something or not be somewhere I'm supposed to. So a good organizational tool I think is vital. The next thing I found that's really important when you've got a lot of stuff on is actually the power to say no. I'm actually quite a yes person, I think. I enjoy pleasing people. It's why I enjoy doing what I do, but I've had to really think carefully about where I spend my energy and what I say yes to and what I say no to. And practice saying no is quite good. It makes you feel a bit stronger and more powerful, and I guess it ensures that you are spending your time and energy in the right places with the right people. And I think that's very important to realise as I've gotten older. There are people that being around gives you energy, inspires you, makes you work harder, makes you want to, you're motivated to do better, to do more. And I find myself spending more and more time with those kind of people. I find it super helpful, and there's real strength in that. So that's good, not saying yes to everything. I think that's really important. From a personal perspective, I guess the things that are really important to me are, again, sleep quality, using exercise in the right way, and I guess just generally taking care of my body. I find that when I'm busy, for instance, I'm a chronic breath holder and I breathe from here when I'm stressed, and sometimes I'll get halfway through my clinic day and realize I'm literally, everything here is frozen. My shoulders are up, my chest is barely moving, my stomach certainly isn't moving at all, and I'm almost holding my breath at times. Not necessarily because I'm stressed, it's because I'm kind of animated and on, but I realize that over time it can lead to feelings of being stressed internally. So I've now consciously developed a habit, and you can actually set your phone up to remind you to breathe every so often, and I find that quite helpful, these little small prompts through the day. You literally just take a couple of minutes, one hand on the chest, one hand on the stomach, and you just breathe in and out, count to 10, and practice mentally saying, let it go. And I find that small cue just to relax myself, to put my shoulder blades in the right place, less Quasimodo, you know, more Zen-like creature. I find that really helpful. And again, I think over time improves posture, that little bit of awareness that we breathe best when everything is long and lean and the shoulders aren't stressed and the stomach is working for you. So breathing, really quite important. What else? Exercise. Now I think that I need two forms of exercise in my life to kind of manage my stress and just for general sense of well-being. It's not always about the negative, but particularly right now, what I started to incorporate are short, efficient workouts. And I've been using Cycle. I don't know if you guys know this place, but it's on Mortimer Street in London. It's God, it's an amazing spinning experience. I'll link to it below. But yeah, you go in, you literally for 45 minutes work your butt off to the most insanely good tunes. And it's really quite cathartic. I mean, you know, all sorts of strange feelings sometimes bubble to the surface, I think, whenever you're in a sort of almost kind of an exercise-related state of euphoria, and that's certainly how you come out. It completely resets your sort of, you know, your insides, really. You come out feeling like you've had a reboot. And it's amazing for whenever you really have that sort of high cortisol stress state going on, or if you feel very emotional. I don't know, it just helps you manage those sorts of feelings so much better. So I couldn't recommend that more highly. I like it because it's also, you get in, you get out, there's no hanging around, all that sort of time wasting that I find I experience when I go to the gym, either because I'm not that focused or you bump into people. With this, you're in, you're out, you can do it in an hour, no problem. So that's good for a release, it's good for cardio, it's good for all sorts of things. But the other thing that I find really helpful, and I've mentioned this before, is just having a short 15-minute video, a routine of yoga that I can do wherever I might be, whether I'm traveling, whether I'm at home. I can even do it in the office if I have enough time, although I have to kind of close the blinds and you know, remove my stilettos. It might look a bit strange, but you know, if I have a cancellation, what better way to spend half an hour than getting my yoga groove on? And I love that Shona for 2 advocates a bit of yoga at the desk side as well. But yeah, a short 15-minute routine. I've mentioned it before, Boho Beautiful is my go-to short on-the-go routine. And that really helps me calm both my mind squirrels, but also is a nice little workout. I've definitely felt an improvement in the way my clothes fit around the middle. It definitely helps build some core strength as well. Very calming, and I quite like just doing it also at the end of the day. It's quite a nice way of switching off from office into being at home, being with my partner and the pussycats. And the cats are obviously an awesome de-stressor. And then the side of things, so sleep quality. So sleep quality I find to be so important for me. If I'm not getting good quality sleep, if I'm waking up early with my mind a sort of a, you know, a jumbly mess of thoughts, then it's a negative way to start the day. So I really have to kind of focus on switching off from tech before bedtime, and actually increasingly switching off from tech first thing in the morning. This is a new habit I'm trying to kind of nourish and cultivate, whereby I get up in the morning, I don't look at email or social media first thing. I'm also trying to get up a little bit earlier just in terms of getting my day started. And if I've kind of done my homework the night before, I'll know my 3 key priorities for that day, and I try and tackle those first thing. Obviously, if I'm going to the office first thing, it doesn't work, but for example, for my days when I do my social media or video content or whatever, brand work, I try to plan those 3 important things and get them done so that you have a sense of accomplishment and that you are proactively managing your day before the world interrupts and insists that you react to other people's concerns and issues. I think if you're trying to, you know, start a new business or move projects forward, you have to always think about what you want to achieve, because at the end of the day, that will give you a sense of calm whenever you've achieved those things, and you look at your to-do list and you realize you reached your goals. So I think most of it is about emptying your mind and dealing with things in the right fashion, in the right organized manner. And I think that those productivity steps really do help manage stress and help you achieve your goals and help buffer for the things that are hard to predict, that come out of left field, that will happen to us all, and can happen to us all at any time. I'd love to hear your stress management tips. Do you have any in common with me? Let me know. And I hope April isn't too stressful for all of you. I look forward to seeing you here soon. Bye for now.